Hello everyone, Brickdark here. Today, we're going to be comparing the two Avengers Compound sets that LEGO has made and determining which one is the best. Here we have set number 76131, Avengers Compound Battle, released in 2019 for $100. It has 699 pieces and 7 figures. Adjusted for inflation, this set would cost $108 in 2022. However, if you want to buy this set secondhand off of eBay, it's going to cost you about $110 to $130 new sealed and box. Right here we have the 2021 Avengers Endgame Final Battle set. This set has 527 pieces, 8 figures, and retails for $70 in the United States. And it is, as of the recording of this video, January 1st, 2022, is still being sold and can still be purchased for $70 or less, depending on whether or not you find it on sale. These sets will be judged based off of 4 criteria: the minifigures, the design of the set, the playability of the set, and the value of the set. They will also be ranked in a way so the winner will receive 2 points and second place will receive 1 point. Without further ado, let's get started with the minifigures. Neither of these sets are lacking in quantity of figures. What will be interesting, though, is which one has the better selection. Starting off, here are the figures who are exclusive to their respective sets. The Thanos figure and the Ant-Man figure in both of these sets is exclusive to their respective set. So let's compare them, respectively. These are two very different Thanos figures. Starting with the 2019 version, this uses that old comic mold which had a helmet and this armor built into the mold. He also came with this hammer, which is inaccurate. Thanos does not wield a hammer during Avengers Endgame. One thing this figure has that the new one does not is arm printing, and the arm printing here looks very good. I really do like the armor that they have on the side of the figure. Looks very good. Now, taking a look at the 2021 Thanos, he does have his accurate blade, which is very nice. It's built using these 2 fin pieces, and they include an extra bar piece, so you can have 2 of these, which we'll show in a minute. But looking at the rest of the figure, he does not have his helmet, and rather this head is a completely removable piece, which is a new system that they've introduced for 2021. On the back, he does have these 4 studs, which you could place something in, and he has a much more detailed armor design than the 2019 Thanos. So, the better Thanos figure undoubtedly goes to 2021, though the 2019 one does have some nice arm printing. Both Ant-Men are micro figures in their respective sets. In 2019, you have this one, which has the quantum suit design, which looks very cool. It's very unique, and it's just not something we've ever really gotten before or since. You can even see there's a little circle where the Avengers logo would be. Looking at the 2021 Ant-Man, it is just the normal Ant-Man, which is seen accurate, but it just doesn't have that unique charm of the 2019 one. It is very detailed. It is impressive how much detail they can fit on such a small piece, because this is zoomed in very far. I will show you just how small this piece really is It is that small. But for the Ant-Man micro figure, the win does indeed go to the Quantum Suit Ant-Man, because I think it is just a more unique and interesting figure. The last character that appears in both sets, coincidentally, is the same figure to appear in both sets. This is the Mark 85 Iron Man. You can see very nicely detailed, just have those gold arms. He even has these Power Blast pieces which you can push down on, which I guess are more of a part of playability, but both versions include those Power Blast pieces. Now, what the 2021 version has that the 2019 version does not is this shield piece. This shield comes on a dark red riot shield and has two stickers, which are unfortunately clear and not dark red stickers, which does mean you can get air bubbles, but this is a very, very cool inclusion. In addition, the 2021 version of the character is the only version to come with a hairpiece. Faceprint is the same on both figures. You can see on the back, that is the expression that he has. So, the 2021 Iron Man wins just because of the shield and the hairpiece. Here are the rest of the figures in these sets. To start off with, in 2019, we have this exclusive Hulk, who does have these blue pants and a smiling expression, which aren't terrible additions, but this Hulk does not have the shirt or the glasses of the Professor Hulk from the film. This does make sense because none of these sets wanted to spoil anything, but it is still a shame that we just have a normal Hulk. The other enemy besides Thanos included in the 2019 set is an Outrider, and this figure is extremely common, appearing in just about every single Infinity War set and Endgame set. So really, this figure is very common. You do have this piece at the back with the 4 places to add the arms, taking off the head. You can see a bit of the back torso design. And don't get me wrong, this is a cool figure, but it certainly is not a selling point of the 2019 set. Then we have the Captain Marvel minifigure, who does come with this orange Power Blast stand, as well as all of the other orange Power Blast pieces. And this is the same figure to come in the 2019 Captain Marvel set. And this is a rather disappointing figure. For one, her hair is just not the right color at all. It should be blonde. Second off, while this matches her hair in the Captain Marvel movie, as you all know, she does have the Karen haircut in the 2019 Avengers Endgame. So this is a very inaccurate figure, which is a shame, and it does come in a much cheaper set as well. The final figure from the 2019 Avengers Compound is this exclusive Nebula, who is exclusive for that face print. She comes with a silver katana, as well as that quantum suit design, which is a very cool design, but rather overused. You can see more of that head printing at the back, and this is a highlight of the set. Moving into 2021, the other bad guy to help with Thanos in the 2021 set is this new Chitauri design, which only comes in a few sets, a $20 set and then a $150 set. So it's very nice to get it here. He does have this silver stud shooter, which shoots out a purple stud. Just works just like that. And this is a very nice figure that does not come in many sets, so getting more is always a pleasure. Then you have a fat Thor, who only comes in the $150 Guardianship set, so this is a much cheaper way to obtain that figure. He does come with a build for Stormbreaker, which is not a build I particularly love, but it gets the job done. He does have a lightning expression that looks very similar to a certain meme. On the back, he does have a smiling expression as well as a fabric cape, which reveals a bit more torso printing underneath. Then, up next, we have the Black Panther, and this is the first Black Panther to have the correct purple energy color. The one in the 2018 Black Panther set had a blue color. This figure does come in a $20 set. So it is, well, nice to get here. It's not the cheapest way to obtain this figure. Then we have an exclusive Scarlet Witch who comes with the Power Blast pieces in pink for the first time, which is cool and all, but I don't understand why these aren't in a translucent red. But moving those out of the way, you can see her torso print does unfortunately suffer from that case of the desaturated color. And then on the back you do have a smiling expression and no angry expression on this figure, which I think is a real shame because Scarlet Witch is often a very angry person. Putting her back there. Then finally, for the 2021 Avengers Compound, we have the Endgame Captain America, who actually has some of that nice armor plating design that is exclusive to this version. He also comes with his shield, as well as Thor's hammer. He comes with a face print used since 2020 with the chin strap and a smiling expression. And after all of that, he even comes with his hairpiece right there. You can see just a bit more back printing. Putting the figure back together, and so you can see those are the figures. So, which set wins the minifigure category? I think without a doubt it has to go to 2021. Not only do you get more figures, but you also get more figures who are harder to find and more interesting figures in general. While 2019 does have some strong elements like the exclusive Nebula and Ant-Man figure, in 2021 you get a much nicer Thanos, a hard-to-find Thor, an exclusive Captain America and Scarlet Witch, and an exclusive Ant-Man micro figure. So the point goes to 2021. The next category is playability. So, with the 2019 set, you have quite a lot of shooting functions. You have some stud shooters up here that can move up and down and be rotated, and you just push on them and they fire out. You do have over here some spring-loaded shooters that can be turned and moved up and down, and you can just fire them off, which does seem to be a bit difficult because it pushes down the riot shield, but you just hold it in place. And they shoot out just like that. You have a couple doors on the set that you can open up. You also have over here this beam, which I'm not sure what this is called, but you can move that up. You also have the garage, which you can just pull up like that very smoothly and have your car drive out. And we'll take a look at the vehicles in a moment. You also have a place up here to put down your helicopter. And then over here you have this little bit right here, which when pulled will pull out this entire section of the wall and pull out the Infinity Gauntlet, which you can put on either Hulk or Thanos. Fitting that back in there very easily. You can also move this little area of the laser beams down to access the Infinity Gauntlet. There's this little station which can rotate. You also have this area where you can place a figure, and I guess it's supposed to be like an elevator or a door or something. I'm gonna put Nebula in here, just Actually, you need to put a one stud back, but you just spin it around like that, and then you spin it back. Oh, Nebula's in the room now. So that's cool. One final feature of the compound itself is you can lift up the table to reveal 2 hidden weapons. You can also sit down figures around the table. Now, the table is somewhat difficult to reattach. This is a problem I've had since I bought the set in June of 2019, but putting that back down, you can have your figures, sit down, and drink some alcohol, it appears to be. Now, that's it for the compound itself. You have this garage, which we showed, and you do have this area for the helicopter to land. But now let's take a look at the 2 vehicles that are included. Starting off, you have the car. This can move very smoothly, very low friction tires. You can actually fit 2 figures inside this. You can have one as the driver of the vehicle, and then you can also, let's take Iron Man, and you can have another figure manning the turret. Now, the turret can spin very easily. You can also have these stud shooters again, which I've shown off before. And overall, works very well. Fun for kids. There is also this helicopter, which you can spin the rotors up top. And it also has a 6 stud shooter, which, how those work, you just turn. And it shoots out all the studs. The helicopter's too small to fit any mechanism to turn this from the back, so you do just have to turn it from the front. You can also fit a figure inside of the helicopter. And then there is also a clip on the helicopter for you to put Nebula's katana. That works very well, integrates into the build very nicely, and you do have a little fire extinguisher on the back, but that's more of design. So that's it for the playability of the 2019 set. Now let's take a look at the 2021 remake. So starting off, perhaps I should have mentioned this in the minifigure part of my review, but you can detach this part of the staff and then make Thanos dual wield, because they do intentionally include an extra one of those bar pieces. So you can have Thanos dual wield his weapon like this, which is very fun for kids. Now, next, looking at the actual build itself, you can definitely see that it's smaller, which means there's going to be less playability. There's also less stuff that can shoot, but I think they make up for it with this one on the side. You can rotate it around and move it up and down. You just press this red part on the back, and it fires pretty intensely. This is gonna hurt if you get hit by it, especially in the eye. You can open the door here at the front. Moving around to the back, you do have an area where you can sit down some of your figures. I'm just going to sit down Tony and Black Panther. Then down here you also have this little research table that can detach from the main build. It's got a little hallway for people to walk through. Then you have the Thanos jail. So you can take your Thanos big fig, put them on in there, and then take your Chitauri as well, slide him in there, and then you have them in jail. Really, really silly, but really cool feature. One final little detail is that you can rotate this antenna up top, or the satellite dish rather. And you can also sort of adjust this part to the side. And I guess it's worth mentioning, but it's very easy to take these 2 parts off. So if you wanted, you could rearrange them very easily, though I wouldn't recommend it because this will not be facing the front anymore. So probably best just keeping them like this in the default position, though that certainly is an option for kids to mess around with. And yeah, that's about it for the actual compound itself. But like the 2019 compound, this set also includes a vehicle. You see, the 2021 set also includes the Ant Van for the first time. Now, unlike the two vehicles included in the 2019 set, this set doesn't have anything you can shoot off. You can take this panel off and then take one of your figures, let's just use Black Panther for now, and put them in the front and have them drive it. But there is more than enough room to fit other characters in the Ant Van as well. Close it on up, and then you can also open this part at the back, which has a little sticker inside, but that's part of the design aspect. This thing rolls very smoothly, low friction, which is always good. But yeah, that's it for the playability of both of these sets. While the 2021 set does have fun features like the Thanos jail, the amount of stuff that can shoot on the 2019 version secures it the point for this round. Up next, we have the design category, which focuses on the actual design and look of the set. First, let's compare the individual compounds. So here, with the 2019 version, this set is a bit bigger than the 2021 version. However, a lot of that space is not being used. It is just this garage area, which does not look good when you don't have the vehicle in it. But then, looking on at the front, you do have this satellite dish, which can spin around. These pillar pieces in grey do look very nice. And this little part, again, does look nice. And from this angle, the garage looks very nice. But turning it around like this, you can really start to feel the emptiness present within this part of the set. You do have this little tools rack over here, which does add a nice bit of detail, as well as these nice windows. Then you have this bridge area, which has even a little step area. Then you have the Avengers logo on a sticker at the front for the helipad, which is interesting. You do have these nicely angled windows, as well as a little keypad in the front that you can type in to gain access to the Avengers Compound, as well as the Avengers logo here and here. In the inside of this part of the set, you do have this little sticker for ID scan, so with the Infinity Gauntlet, but there's no real wall or anything to see the Infinity Gauntlet from, so it's just hidden behind a vault. You do have this little computer, which is a nice inclusion. You do even have a sticker that shows and highlights some of the stones. And for the Infinity Gauntlet itself, this set does come with the Power and Time Stone. So, finally, looking up here, you do have this little threat sticker on the wall. And then you do have this little area with a bunch of drinks with the seats, which looks nice. And then up top, you do have a couple of small details as well. And this set does look good from the front. But from certain angles, it really does start to feel very empty when you don't have things included in it. Now looking at the 2021 compound, you do have these two parts on the side, which has this very nice wrecked up Avengers logo after Thanos' ship destroys the Avengers compound. You also have those windows angled, and it's expanded on a bit more. They're a bit bigger here. You also have a fingerprint scanner, this time instead of a keypad. You also have what looks like an air raid siren, as well as the satellite up above. Moving inside of the set, the interior space is smaller, but it's used better. You do have even this empty space, like the hallway, is tiled off, so it does feel more complete. You do have this little table with some very nice stickers, as well as the Stark Gauntlet on there. And then up top, you do have a potted plant and a weapons rack, as well as two stickers that depict the holograms of Rocket Raccoon and Captain Marvel. moving those out of the way so you can get a better look at Rocket. Now, the only part that I'm not a fan of on this set is the chairs. They're shorter than the original ones. Well, they don't have backs. That's my main issue. There's a little potted plant on the back. You have the Avengers logo as well as a coffee cup and 2 silver cups. And while yes, this part of the build with the Thanos jail does look empty without Thanos in it, but it is a much smaller space and doesn't take up nearly as much of the interior space as the garage on the 2019 model does. So, that's it for the compounds themselves, but now let's take a look at the vehicles each set includes. The Ant Van is going to be fighting 2 opponents instead of 1, so it's already got a disadvantage, but trust me, it can bring it. So, starting off with the helicopter included in the 2019 set, do have some stickers like the Avengers logo as well as these flaps which are nicely angled. But you have this horrendous cockpit piece that doesn't cover the entire thing. In fact, it barely covers anything. You may as well put 2 studs over it. That's about as much as it covers. You do have this little control panel on the inside, which is the same that we'll see on the car in a minute. And I think this dark gray and dark blue color scheme looks decent. I've seen worse, I've seen better. If this didn't have the Avengers logo and just had the SHIELD logo, I think this would be at least marginally better, because the Avengers don't use a helicopter. Then, looking at the car, this looks better than the helicopter, because you don't have that ridiculous cockpit piece. No doors, unfortunately. Again, you do have the Avengers logo, as well as a license plate on this one. And the turret area doesn't look the best. I feel like it should be a little bit higher because it just seems like you'll be shooting the right off of the person's scalp if you actually do use this in a realistic situation. You have these nice pieces on the side though, which look very nice. And there's more blue than gray here, so I think it looks better than the helicopter. But then we get to the Ant Van. This thing is really cool. First off, you have this completely smoothed off look on the top, which I've not seen on a Lego van ever. You also have the Quantum Tunnel on the back, which is a very nice sticker, as well as this sticker on the back that has a family of 3 ants. And it's a very accurate thing. You do have the XCon sticker on both sides, as well as this medium nougat stripe that runs through the entire thing. Aside from the back, you even have this little extra set of tires. There's no interior detailing, unfortunately, which I don't think is personally needed, but it would have been nice, wouldn't have hurt, but I also don't think it's that needed. And then, yeah, so the vehicles here, despite having a disadvantage in numbers, the Ant Van definitely makes up for it in build and accuracy. So while the 2019 set does have some strong aspects, the 2021 set blows the rest of it out of the park. The vehicle is better, and the shape and interior space is just better and more appealing. The amount of open space left when you don't have the vehicles inside the compound on the 2019 version is really a massive shame, because it's just this large empty space with no details and nothing to play around in. While yes, the 2021 version does have the Thanos jail, it is a smaller space and thus more of the build feels complete when you don't have Thanos in that jail. The same cannot be said for the 2019 version, so the point goes to the 2021 set. The final criteria we have to rank these sets on is value. And I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The 2021 set is a much better value by 7 marathons. This set is much cheaper. You're getting more figures, you're getting a better selection of figures, you're getting a better looking build with a more detailed interior, and overall it is a much nicer build to look at in my opinion. The 2019 set does have its merits, as all of the figures you get are cool, but the 2021 set has more figures, has better detailed figures, has a wider selection of figures, and that's not even mentioning the build itself. Now, I do think that if you can get both of these sets, they look excellent together. I have a little endgame final battle display with both of these sets as the backdrops, and it looks great. But still, the 2019 set was overpriced when it came out at $100. In 2021, this set is $70 and a much better value than this set ever could be unless it was on half-off clearance. With that said, the point goes to the 2021 model. And with that, we have our results. And the winner, if you weren't paying attention, is the 2021 set, which scored 7 points, whereas the 2019 set scored 5. Again, I think if you can get both of these sets, they look great together and definitely help each other. And if you have the 2019 version, there's no harm in getting the 2021 version either. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Peace.